What you think, Teeter? What you think, Teeter? Is it hot? Is it hot? You don't like hot. Anyhow, I was gonna dink with this a lot more today, but the sky was getting kind of dark, and I checked out the radar, and we've only got like a couple hours of decent weather left, and then it's looks like all hell's gonna break loose because it's like right on the Iowa-Illinois line right now. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of tinkering with this thing. I just went inside and I just bought a manual for it. It's supposed to be here later this week. eBay's so nice. eBay just makes finding shit like that just so easy, it's not even funny. Like, it's just so nice, and it's like the manual looks like it's brand new. It's $10. It's like, well, that'd be handy. So I got a manual coming for it. And just it's just a tidbit of information, I guess. The new idea, model 17 and model 19, exact same frame spreader. Difference is the 17 is ground drive, the 19 PTO drive. So fun fact for the day, the 17 and the 19, they're same spreader, just different drive options. But anyway, I went today and priced out some lumber for it. Price of lumber has actually come down some this week, so that's good. But before I actually go and buy anything, I want to get a material list together, get a cut list, and figure out exactly what I need so that I don't have too much waste. So I brought it down here. I'm going to measure out all the lumber. I was going to get the lumber, I was going to get all the wood taken out of it today, but with that coming, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to measure everything out, get a list together, try to be somewhat organized. Try to get a fastener list together. The wood, it's all riveted in, so I'm going to have to cut all the rivets off and drive them out. It's going to all go back in with carriage bolts because I'm assuming they had a special rivet tool to do all that crap, and we're just going to put it together with carriage bolts because it's going to make life easy. But it's looking like it's going to cost me about 250 bucks for lumber, depending on that was getting all the same size boards. I'm going to need it's all 3/4 material, so if you go by the sale dimensions, it's going to be 1 by 8 by 12 is mostly what I'm going to need. Although it looks like the floorboards are short enough, I might be able to go with a 1 by 8 by 10, which is going to save me some money. But that's why I wanted to measure it before I bought any lumber. And at first, when I was looking at this thing this morning before I went and looked at lumber, and I thought that they had made it tongue and groove. Well, I got to looking at it better, and I found right here, I managed to find an actual original joint. And all they did was they made a lap joint. So that board goes over, that board goes under, and they just made an overlap. Which is nice, because Granddad's got the stuff to make that. If it was tongue and groove, I was going to have to buy stuff for his router to make tongue and groove. So that was going to be about $140 worth of tooling just to make 12 boards. So anyway, get the lumber list together. I was pricing out tires. Everybody was saying put truck tires on it. Well, that's all fine and dandy, except I hate the way I hate the way automotive tires look on farm equipment. It looks stupid. And I am done with the used tire deal. I've gone down that road before. I have terrible luck with used tires. If I had a set of used tires to put on it, I would put used tires on it, but I'm gonna go through the spreader. I'm gonna make it nice. I'm gonna make it what I want. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm just gonna spend the money and put new tires on it, and it'll probably be the last set of tires this thing ever needs. Plus, these are 924s. Last I checked, there's no such thing as a 24-inch truck tire. So, that being said, the only company I can find that still makes a 924 is BKT. They still make a 5-rib 924 implement tire. That being said, they are 290 bucks a piece. That was an internet price. I don't know if my tire dealer can do me any better or not. I'm trying to make the decision because I don't know how it's going to look. I could put R1, they wouldn't be Field and Rose because they don't make Field and Rose anymore, but these CSL 24s, the same tires I put on my 525, that tread pattern, they make those tires in a 950 24. So I could put them on there, mount them up backwards like you would on a drawn implement, and have a R1 tread bar lug tire on there. If I went that route, it would be 205 a side. So I'm trying to make that decision. So I got, yeah, that's still up in the air. I wish I wasn't trying to get this thing done so that I could use it, because looking at it, it would be super duper easy to paint this thing, because you pull the wheels off, pull the beaters out, take the wood out. The only reason you pull the beaters out is it'd be nice to paint them separate. But basically you get the wheels off and get the wood out and get the beaters out just for ease of access, and you blast the frame and shoot it New Idea green, and then the wheels and the wood get painted orange and the beaters are green, and basically you have a green frame with orange wood and orange wheels. And then it should be stenciled right here. It should be stenciled at New Idea. They split it on this angle. It would be New and Idea here, and same thing on the other side, and it would say number 19. And then it would be, obviously you can still see it'd be the number 19 decal there and their warning sticker. And then I need to see if I could find a picture or a original implement or something that still has this New Idea guaranteed sticker on it, and get that remade. Actually, on this it wouldn't have been a sticker, it would have been stenciled or silk screened, and get that remade as a decal to put that back down there, because that'd be kind of neat. But I'm trying to get it to where I could use it, so it's probably going to get the wood slapped in it. And run it, make sure everything's going to be kosher, and then probably pull all the wood back out, strip it down to a bare frame, and blast it and paint it. Might have to pull, it looks like that sprocket, or that idler was originally orange. Well, that's definitely green. But all this would get the beater shaft assemblies and everything, yank all that out, paint all that separate, put it all back together. But hubs are green, frames green. So yeah, it would be real simple to paint. But anyway, the other thing I noticed, because when you run the jack all the way down, it's still not high enough to get on the drawbar of the tractor. Luckily, this thing is balanced real well, and you can one hand or one arm this thing and pick it up and set it on the drawbar. It's actually really nice. But there's supposed to be a great big, well, you can't really see it that well folded up. There's supposed to be a great big arched piece that's welded up here and comes back and loops down and goes back up to here, and that's the foot for the jack, and that's missing. So, and also it looks like if I move that pin into that hole, that would get me some more up too, so I might do that. But it still needs the foot put back on it. So that's part of the reason I ordered the manual, is to get good enough pictures to know roughly kind of how to make that. It'd be nice if I knew somebody around here at a spreader about this vintage, because when they went to the newer style spreaders, they changed the jack. But it'd be nice to find one to get dimensions off of to remake the piece and stick it on there. But I would really like to see this thing all painted up, because manure spreaders are kind of walking contradictions. They are literally, I mean, no pun intended, they get the shittiest job on the farm. They spread shit. That's what they're meant to do. But if you look at the spreaders built from the turn of the century up to like the early 60s, they are some of the most beautiful, ornate farm implements built by any company. It's like everybody went really overboard on making nice curved lines, and a lot of companies went fancy on the pinstriping and the color combinations, and like, especially like the Molines and the IHs, they made really ornate curved chain guards, and there's a bunch of ornate stamping and logos and stuff. Like, a well-restored manure spreader, I don't care if it's a John Deere, an Oliver, an IH, a New Idea, any color manure spreader, a good restoration job to put them back original. Manure spreaders are just the most beautiful farm implements when they're done upright. So I really want to do this one justice. Plus, I like New Idea stuff. New Idea was a good company. Supposedly, they still have the archives down in Coldwater where the plant was and stuff. I think I can call down there and get the paint codes for this thing so that I get the right color paint. I think I'm going to look into doing that too, because the one thing I will do when I put new tires on it, I'll probably just go ahead and blast and paint the rims so that that's done and the tires are mounted and the rims are done. But anyway, yeah, I guess I'm going to start measuring some lumber, get a list put together. All right, well, I got my list together. It's looking like I'm going to need 8 1x8s, 12 foot long, and probably 4 1x6s, 12 foot long, unless a 1x5 is a real thing, because I was looking up dimensional lumber and it says that 4.5 wide is a 1x5. So, but I don't know if that's an actual board or if that was just in their chart for lumber dimensions. And then a shit ton of 5/16 by 1.5 carriage bolts, 35 per side and 98 in the bottom. But I got done measuring everything up, and I just been giving it a good walk around. I straightened up the arms for the jack. They were all bent up like a pretzel. They're still not perfect. I still actually, mostly this one just needs tweaked yet, but I can play with those some more when I figure out what the horseshoe on the bottom's supposed to be and actually get everything welded where I got something rigid to press against, because right now they're like wrestling a wet noodle. I pulled them off and put them in the press, but without something there, it's hard to visualize how the bends are actually supposed to be and everything without having something there to stay rigid. So got that straightened out, and I found out the tongue was about ready to fall off because one of these bolts was missing and the other one was sheared half in two. So it wasn't long for the world. So I put 4 new bolts in the tongue to make sure we didn't have any incidents. And I started straightening out the paddles on the back, and I got these 2 done, which they're still not perfect, but straightening these things out while they're still riveted to the castings is kind of it's interesting because they're bent right in line with the tip of the casting, so you got no way to, it's not fun. Short of taking you'd have to drill all the rivets out, push everything out flat, and then bolt it back together, which might happen, but I got these done, and then I got to look, and it's like that one, they got the tabs matching. These 2, they're opposite. These 2, they're matching. Opposite. So I don't know what's going on there, because they got these in line. These 2 are clocked to each other. These 2 are in line. These 2 are clocked. These 2 are clocked. So I don't know if they're supposed to be in line or if they're supposed to be clocked. But one would think they'd want it all one way or all the other, because it would affect your spread pattern. So I don't know if they're all supposed to be like this to each other and then just opposite on all 5, or if they're supposed to be like this to each other and these 2 are wrong. So before I get too carried away with fiddle fucking around with the rest of that. I'm gonna wait till the book shows up so I know what it's supposed to be. Because the worst part is there's left and right, so if these are supposed to be the other way, well, hopefully, so I would have to switch 2 of these, and then that would make these like these. I don't know, hopefully there's enough. I would need 6 lefts, or no, I'd need 5 lefts and 5 rights to make them all match no matter which way they're supposed to be. So hopefully everything's there. I'd have to take them all apart, lay them all on the ground, and make sure, get them in a row. But anyway, regardless, I'm going to wait till the book gets here so I know exactly what we got going on, so I know how to put it back together. Because like I say, it's going to affect your spread pattern, how you assemble that back beater shaft. So anyway, I think I'm going to call her square for today because it's hotter than hell and I'm uncomfortable, and I got, well, I got it all brushed off. I had a bunch of rust and stuff sticking to my skin from all the sweat. So it's Sunday. I'm supposed to take it easy today anyhow, so anyway, I guess thus ends part 1, although we didn't really accomplish much other than making a list and seeing what all screwed up. So wait for parts to show up before we start tearing apart. Wait to get some parts for it before we start tearing into it too far. So anyway, I guess that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.